Good evening.
Hello.
Hi. Good evening.
Hey,
How's it
queens. Hey,
going?
girly.
Hello.
It's going great. How are you
I
doing?
am I'm well. I'm chilling. I had an okay day at work and now I'm doing nothing except for this.
This is an oven.
I know. I'm doing something awesome now.
I was actually thinking this would have made the best April Fool's stream to like do this
Ugh,
in
I know.
a non-critical way, like, you know.
hmm Yeah. But yeah, we're going to talk about this tonight. But there are so many people in the chat already. Hello. Um, I don't want to say too many individual hellos because I don't want to miss anyone, but hello to everybody who is already here. That's amazing.
Yeah, super
Um,
cool. We love this
I
little
know.
crowd.
I know all the faves are here. So yeah, today we're going to talk about Monica Prata. We're going to learn about her and her business and read an article about her. And it's going to be nuts. So
Yeah.
let's dive in.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay.
You and I looked at her website together and we
Oh
had
man.
like the funniest conversation and
Yes.
we're just
We
like
can get into
dying.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Monica Prada is a femininity coach, whatever feminine means to you.
Mm. I actually signed up for her gender.
Waitlist.
Yeah, it was waitlisted. She has a gender expression clinic or something.
Yep.
And I was like, I want to know how to express my gender because I don't even know
You're
what that means.
honestly. Well, maybe we
Yeah.
can learn.
Yeah.
Okay, so about Monica. Monica Prada is a gender expression specialist. She partners with healthcare systems to design and implement gender expression care programs. She also works directly in group workshops and with individuals to help them actualize their gender identity through gender expression. Gender expression care provides a supportive, non surgical, non hormonal pathway to authentic self expression, improving overall health, safety, and wellness. Oh, look
I
at
mean,
that.
honestly, like that last sentence is
Uh huh.
kind of like not that harmful,
Oh, yeah.
maybe. You know what I mean? Like when you frame it that way, it's like not that it's not part of this whole framework that also promotes surgery and hormones and all this
Mm
other stuff, but at the very least, if you have to give her any credit at all, it's that she personally is not promoting those things.
hmm. Right. Yeah.
So,
Um, yeah. All of this information is taken directly from her website, by the way. So,
yeah,
um,
and Useless asked, does she also help NBs? And she does, I believe.
yes, she does.
And I wanted to, oh, a lesbianist artist said, doing some deep breathing to prepare my blood pressure.
I saw that up there. She also asked us, I wonder if the femininity training will involve teaching moids to wash the damn dishes and wipe their asses.
Yikes.
Oh, okay. Why does gender expression care matter? Knowing how to present yourself in the world as a transgender or non binary person isn't superficial. It is critical to mental, emotional, and physical safety.
Mm.
Gender expression care is a necessary complement to surgery and, in some cases, provides a way to transition without surgical or pharmaceutical intervention.
Okay, again, I'm giving her credit for that.
Yep, that's fair enough.
If that's all trans was,
Yeah.
I would, I mean, one of the issues that we have with it is the surgery and the
hmm
hormones and stuff. They're not safe or healthy for people at all. So
hmm
she deserves that little teeny, 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 tiny bit of credit.
Uh huh. This is interesting. Dreamwalker asks, I'm curious to learn the difference between this and a dominatrix sissifying her clients. Right?
Right. I think I used the term invisible HJ. I'm not gonna say it out, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you
Oh,
go
okay.
ahead.
With rates of violence against transgender and non binary people and rates of depression and suicide that are higher than in any other group, the stakes are too high.
But nobody wants to look at why those things are
Right.
higher. They just wanna put makeup on them.
Yep. Yep. Okay. So, what happens in gender expression care? It provides, these are photos from her website, by the way. These are not stock images.
Mm,
It
yeah.
provides a safe space to address practical needs during gender transition with the help of professional experts. It includes gender congruent wardrobe and hairstyling, because that's what gender is,
Mhm.
feminizing, masculinizing, or neutralizing cosmetics and skincare, gender
Mhm.
expressive vocal coaching,
Mhm.
gender affirming movement and exercise. What does that mean, do you
Wow,
think?
that's interesting. Well, I know I remember from her video where she says about how men walk bouncier or
Right.
whatever, you know?
Yeah. It involves asserting pronouns and coming out, confidence coaching, and transition timeline planning.
Yeah, that's what I remember we were looking at this and I was like, "I wanna do this because I need the confidence coaching."
Right.
And, like, who
Well,
doesn't?
uh-huh.
Um,
So that's
what is
what you can expect.
masculinizing cosmetics?
I think probably learning how to like shade and highlight your jawline to make it look more prominent
Oh.
or that kind of thing is what I would assume.
Interesting, so even if you're a quote unquote "trans man," you can't get away from wearing makeup.
Right. You still have to do the makeup.
Mhm, yeah.
Glitter beard.
Oh, Hint Water says, "Gender conforming movement is when my breasts rested boobily."
Bend and snap.
Story Ending never says, "Blue lippy or a Smurf eater?"
One could never know, I suppose. Okay, so that's what you can get at Gender Expression Care. Just some frequently asked questions from her website. There were more, but these were the ones that really stood out to me. Is gender expression care the same as therapy? No. Gender expression care may have a therapeutic effect, but it is not a substitute for therapy. We recommend that you have a mental health provider. Gender expression care works best when you are being supported and have multiple avenues to process your experiences. So, that I did appreciate that they say, no, this is not a substitute for therapy and you should have mental health care. I did appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, so far, like, I feel like her approach is very caring, and it does people have people's well-being, um, have that interest in mind, but, like, her approach is still very superficial and focused on, like, their appearance and
Of
stuff, which is,
course.
like, ultimately not gonna make anybody better off.
Hmm.
Oh, thank you, Lee.
Thank you, Lee. Hello, sisters, trans women are men. Yes, that's right. Okay. Does gender, whoops, um, that should have said GEC. Whoops, my bad. Does gender expressive care reinforce gender stereotypes? Not at all. We believe that gender constructs are limited and limiting. Gender expressive care serves as a test kitchen for exploring an expansive range of expressions within your chosen identity. We help you navigate to your unique persona and cultivate an external expression that feels authentic to you.
Yeah, that's so interesting, right? Does it reinforce gender stereotypes? No. Well, then kind of what is the
Then what is the
point of
point?
it?
And what are
Yeah.
you doing then?
And everything that I've known, and we did look at quite a few articles about her that like
Yes, there's lots.
everything is very super, super
Superficial.
conforming to like whatever the
Hyper
stereotype of.
femininity.
Yeah. And she says specifically work with males,
Hmm.
Tim's. And, you know, my comment was that at least from photos, which is like a big asterisk there, right? Like
Mhm.
they do look pretty good. Like she's good at what she does. Like she gets them
Yeah.
pretty close to passing in a photo, but you know, like it's kind of a little disingenuous to say that this doesn't rely on gender stereotypes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's like it's interesting because like I did sign up for her wait list or whatever for her workshop.
I
And
can't
it's like
wait
an
to
8-week workshop of about your gender expression or whatever. And like I actually would be interested in doing that, but it's like I'm like, well, what is my gender expression? Because I just like wake up in the morning and just put on like a t-shirt and yoga pants and then
Mhm.
just like go through my day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like I'm performing anything, and these people all really seem like they're like it's almost acting or something. You know what I mean? And is that really, especially when they're like, "Oh, this is about your authentic self" or something.
I
And
know, it's
and
so
it's so such a like mask to
big
be your
time.
authentic self. Like to me, my authentic self is just like I don't know. Like I don't do anything specific to please anyone else.
Right, why do you have to do something to yourself, your body, your face, your closet, whatever, to be your authentic self?
Exactly. It does feel very much like theater training or like putting on a costume or something.
Funny you should say that. Hazel Burnwood's
Yeah.
theater ready.
Well, I know Joan of Arc's here too, and she's like a theater
A
person.
theater gal, yes, there's
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
Should we learn a little bit about the process?
I would love to.
Okay. So, the process. Step 1 and 2.
Oh,
Low
this is like
the
literally
low
the
price of
money.
$99
Yeah.
to complete the form and pay the fee, the application fee. The applications are reviewed quarterly, and a team member will be in touch with you to discuss your application. Up to 90 days, 3 months.
Right. So you might not even, so this is the process to get in on a one-on-one with her.
Yep.
And like, cause she also does the workshops, which are, it's like $600 for 8 weeks, which I
Mhm.
feel like is not that bad. It's kind of not out of the realm of like mortal pricing. This is like obviously only for rich people, but like the fact that it's like a $99 fee just to be considered to work with her. And you know what I said to you was, she probably weeds out applicants who are so unpassing that they would make her look bad.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
You know, like, "I can't help you, sorry, I don't think that our program's gonna be right for you." Right? Like, I'm sure she wants to take
I'm
anybody's
sure.
money, but, like, the It's Ma'ams of the world, like, are gonna get rejected, right?
The GameStop ma'am. Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, and also the fact that right, like you 90-day just a response to the application, dude. This is what I was saying in this chat before, and I was saying it to you, is this industry is so unsaturated. Like it's basically just her, as far as I know. So she's
Yeah,
like booked out for a year or whatever. Get
I
get in on this, women. Like
know.
you
Teach the
anyone
Tims.
out there who is like unemployed or underemployed, like this is such a massive business opportunity. First of all, startup cost is like nothing. All you need is some makeup and like do your hair or whatever and a
And,
website.
like, a few key phrases, like, "You go, girl."
Yeah, and by the way, every
Cheers.
single like whatever like Vice magazine or you know, New York
Yeah,
magazine or
yeah.
something will write an article about you.
About you.
Too, because like every media outlet is like salivating to write an article about this stuff, right?
Oh.
Like, can we just do this all together as a business, please, and like make a bajillion dollars? I'm like so down. I want to make Monica Prada money,
I was gonna
right?
say, I would rather throw up. Lee, thank you.
Thank you,
Oh my
Lee.
god. Okay. Okay. Step 3, for the
Oh.
low price of $499, you can simply
Mm.
discuss your goals with Monica, and she'll present a proposal to you for a plan of action. You also have to pay a 50% non-refundable deposit, though.
Yeah, so that's $500 just for like an initial
Well,
consultation.
600.
Oh, yeah,
499 plus
yeah, if you
90.
include the application, yeah, so you've already spent $600 and you get nothing for that. I'm
Right.
assuming discuss your goals because that's like a Zoom appointment or something. That's not even like a day
Right.
because it is
Right.
$3,000 a day for to spend the day with her. So like
Mhm.
that's probably like a 1 hour consult. Like she's charging more than like a lawyer. Or you know
Oh,
what I
for
mean? That's what I
sure.
was saying was like, what is like an experienced plumber charge like per day? It's like, you know, and she doesn't even do
Mhm.
anything. Like, what is she even doing?
Yeah. Well, we'll find out.
Insane.
Um, steps 4, 5 through 6 is, creating your agenda and what you want to do, booking your appointments, going
Mm.
shopping, and then having a night out with the girls, which starts at $3,000
Right.
and does not include the cost of your hair, your nails, your wardrobe, whatever.
Right.
That's all on you as
Right.
well.
3,000 is just for her company. She
Right.
really is, and I think that was, what Magdalene said in her video is it's an escort service basically. And like I said, it's an invisible HJ, like she's
Yeah.
just she,
Yep.
it's she's helping these guys live out this fantasy that they somehow, they're spending time with the girls.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Well, we've got 2 testimonials from real life clients.
yeah, let's hear them.
So Chrissy
Mm.
says, "It took just a few short hours for Monica to completely reconstruct my look."
Mhm.
And Robin, "She's been instrumental in my feminine development. I have bloomed from a wallflower that was afraid to be seen in public to a confident female ready to greet the world."
Now, I will say, like, in those photos, like, they're not totally passing, they're uncanny valley for sure, but, like, it's not the worst we've ever seen.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, well, it better not be for the low price of
Yeah, yeah, for thousands of
$3,700
dollars.
minimum.
Right. Right.
Oh my god. Wild.
Yeah.
So, that's a little bit about
Mhm.
Monica.
Yeah.
We're gonna look at an article about her and what her life is like. Um, Let me just get
Yeah, I
it
can't
up
believe the guy in that photo didn't get rejected. That guy is looking, like, pretty rough.
here. Yeah. I just have to adjust this so I can see what we're doing here. How's that look? Too big, too small?
Um, if you can make it a little bit bigger, it's not bad though. Oh, yeah, that looks good.
Okay. So this was from Bustle magazine. It is an older article, but it's full of the most crazy. So we wanted to share this one because it's wild.
Yeah, she's been at this for a while too, dude.
Yeah, this is from 2018, as you can see here.
And also, she has locations in New York and San Francisco, which tells you a lot
She's making
about,
bank.
yeah, because
Yeah,
those
she
are
has
the two
physical
most
clinics.
expensive cities in America, and she has established locations in both of them, and the ability to travel back and forth, which is what you have when you make $3,000 a day. I mean, that's literally like
Minimum, if she's got one client a day.
hold on, $3,000 a day salary annual. What does that work
God,
out to be? $780,000 a year. If she's fully booked, I doubt she's doing those every single day,
I'm
but
sure. Yeah, still,
she's
there's some.
making she's making $500,000 a year on this stuff.
Oh, for sure. There's some amazing comments we have to highlight here. Hazel Wormwood said 6K to gaslight girl boss in the most literal way. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I would do it. And like honestly, we know. We're like we've been preparing for years to do this. We know. We know.
I
We know
know.
exactly what they want to hear.
Joan says Monica is my hero, my problematic fave.
Yeah.
Lee, for the low price of $5,000, I would take a Tim out shopping while I explain men can't be feminists.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Okay. All right. So, Monica Prada is a femininity coach, whatever feminine means to you.
But it's going to be pretty stereotypically feminine, so.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that is a man, Maury.
Yeah, I mean, man.
Ice says I'd fund Lisa to get this career going so I can laugh at it on YouTube.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Do this as a YouTuber.
Okay. Imagine moving to a new planet whose customs you are only very vaguely familiar with, where you were given a closet full of unfamiliar clothes and even more unfamiliar chemicals to put on your body. The only thing you had to guide you was a picture of a woman. Gina Bloom, a comedian in New York City, tells Bustle. You would be unprepared.
Okay, so these people supposedly are women.
Right.
So how is it moving to a new planet?
Or unfamiliar.
You apparently are that and were that since birth, and you were wrongly assigned male.
Right.
So shouldn't you know innately exactly what it is to be a woman and how to do woman and everything? Because you already are one.
Right.
Whatever you're doing already, sir, is being a woman.
Yeah.
Right? But
That's what
the
I thought of
logic
it.
is not there.
Not at all. Okay, 3 years ago, at the beginning of her physical transition, Bloom became a client at Nouveau She.
Hold on
The
a
business.
second.
Okay.
Julie's comment, I donate money to fund a rocket to another planet for aging things. Okay, sorry.
No. Okay. The business, founded and run by stylist and makeup artist Monica Prata, teaches makeup, clothing, hairstyling, and feminine comportment, meaning traditionally feminine movement and body language, to people who are beginning to publicly transition to a feminine presentation or are male presenting but exploring gender fluidity. When she first came across Prada's business, Bloom was intrigued. She, by the way, she.
Right.
I started Hormones in 2015 and was online looking for a transgender-friendly hair salon when I came upon Monica's website. At first glance, what she was offering seemed too good to be true, said Bloom. I thought it was an elaborate prostitution scheme, so
It is.
I kept reading her website and looking for double entendres. After a few days, when I couldn't find any, I finally emailed her. Though she could only afford to work with Nouveau She 8 times over a 3-year period, Bloom said
Whoa.
that the consultations were life-changing. Prada took away that picture of a woman and made it so I didn't, and continue to not have to, stumble into the world unprepared.
Rusty's comment, women are like aliens. They're so abnormal and strange. Yeah, it's like a totally male view of womanhood too. Like it
Mhm.
just really confirms that they're men.
Right.
Like they remember on our last stream we were talking about how they don't even pass in writing or in
Right. You can
language.
clock them in the written word.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's it.
Mhm.
Clocked.
Yep. Nouveau She is one of only a handful of businesses in the US that teaches makeup and styling skills exclusively to her clientele. Prada, who is cisgender, officially launched the company in 2008. 2008?
Wow.
Holy sh. But she has worked with styling and gender for many years, first in high school as a stylist at Nordstrom and later as a MAC makeup artist over a decade ago. While at Nordstrom, Prada first noticed that many male presenting customers who approached her for help buying clothes for a girlfriend, wife, or mother were often shopping for themselves.
Mm.
Side note, my
Mhm.
sister used to work at a shoe store, and
Mhm.
she would get guys who would come in, including with like a tape measure to measure the shoes, um,
Oh my
and would
god.
say it's for their girlfriend.
And it'd be like size 13 or something.
Yeah, but they would never, of course, try them on because it's for the girlfriend, but they would measure
Right.
them.
Whoa.
I know. Anyway.
Ugh.
Prada would help them select women's clothing they liked while also focusing on making the experience as comfortable as possible by doing things like bringing the clothes to the dressing room for her clients so they wouldn't have to feel exposed.
I was just thinking, I wonder if she's had any, like, creepy experiences in all this.
She
Like,
has to have, right?
yeah, like, I would actually be maybe that's what the application and the
Is
consultation and
weeding
stuff
out.
is about. Yeah, because there definitely would be, like, some legitimate, like, Silence of the Lambs,
I'm
like,
sure.
creeps who would seek this out.
Yeah, and at that like early price tag, like the $100 and then the $500, like that would probably also weed out some of the people who aren't super serious.
Yeah, true. I wonder if she has an assistant too because, like,
Oh, she
I feel like
must.
being alone with these guys also would be, like,
She must.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Monica. While at MAC, Prada stepped in when she noticed that men looking to get their makeup done were turned away by most of the other makeup artists. The makeup artist would ask, "Are you a model? Are you doing a photo shoot? Or even worse, do you have a hickey or blemish? Something you want me to cover up?" Prada told Bustle. "I saw this uncomfortable interaction again and again and was affected by it because I never wanted anyone to feel ashamed to express themselves." That's fair. "So I would work with these customers and they would feel a lot better about themselves. They would leave feeling empowered, acknowledged, and respected as not only a customer, but also an individual."
Wearing makeup doesn't empower you.
No.
Male, female,
For
anybody.
the
It's
last
not an empowering
for
for
the
the last
last
time.
damn time, empowered does not mean feels good.
Yeah, exactly. I
This
mean,
is
again, like, I kind of, she does seem like an empathetic person,
right.
like, it's hard to tell because she is making tons of money off of this, so it's
Right.
like, obviously, it's a business first and
Mhm.
foremost, but, like, her heart does seem to kinda be in the right place, even though it's, like, a goofy way of going about,
Right,
quote, unquote,
totally.
"helping people," but
Yeah. These experiences led Prada to start Nouveau She. "I wanted more than helping a beautiful woman coming to me for a new lipstick color," said Prada. "I wanted to be able to work with someone who doesn't feel beautiful yet. I'm able to give them something deeper. I get that it may seem surface level, but it isn't. It isn't beauty if it isn't meaningful to you." She describes Nouveau She clients as having a desire for self expression. Okay. Most of Prada's clients, like Bloom, find her while searching online for this particular type of service. Prada's knowledge doesn't just come from her time in fashion and beauty retail. She also studied male and female bone structure with San Francisco based facial feminization surgeon Dr. Douglas Osterhout, who reached out to Prada after hearing positive things about her from his clients.
mm,
Hmm.
mm.
Hmm. Partnering up with a surgeon
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's like a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing.
Uh, yeah, it's all the same, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, her thing doesn't involve surgery or hormones necessarily, or like
Mm-hmm.
she markets it as like potentially an alternative to those things, in which case, like, if you have to do something, this is less harmful objectively than like cutting yourself up. But
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's
Right.
such a great comment.
I know. Straub is on it.
Yeah.
Good comment, Straub.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Prada offers a 4-hour session for $800, so $200 an
Mm.
hour. Or
Well,
a,
she has definitely raised her prices since
yeah,
then.
yeah, this is a little
'Cause
bit
her
more.
one day price now is 3,000.
Yeah, or a full day session for $1,500, all inside her Union Square studio. Some of her clients, especially those who live outside New York City, will spend an entire weekend with her. But a session with Prada does not begin and end in the makeup chair. She will also often accompany her clients out in the city to have a meal or window shop, I'll tell my client to order your food, present your femininity, engage with another human. Don't be ashamed. If the waiter realizes you're transgender, that's okay. Carry it off. Be proud. Don't hide yourself, said Prada.
It's ma'am.
It's ma'am. I would just like to add if the waiter realizes you're transgender. Ugh. Okay. One of Prada's goals in her sessions is helping her clients who want to pass, meaning to be perceived as a woman even though they were assigned male at birth, learn how to do so. But the concept of passing is loaded within the trans community. As J. Alexis Lee, who describes herself as a trans woman advocate and researcher, wrote in a Quora post that was later republished on the Huffington Post, passing is situational and it's complicated. Some trans people work very hard to pass, both because it eases their own dysphoria and because life is safer if you pass. Some trans people push back against the pressure to pass. Some people dislike the term passing, as though it's an arbitrary measurement of our success or failure at what? Being trans? Performing gender correctly?
Imagine like if you replace that with like race, because that's like the original place where passing comes from.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how much like creepier and weirder is it? Like,
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, it's gross.
yeah.
But if a person's femininity is highly important to them, and for many trans people it is, that's a weird sentence.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Anyway, Dr. Lords Ashley Hunter, who is the executive director of the Trans Women of Color Collective and currently working towards her second doctorate at Georgetown University, tells Bustle she understands the appeal of a business like Nouveau She. If femininity is something you aspire to, you should invest intentionally in that. It's just important to remember that being a trans woman isn't exclusive to femininity, and femininity doesn't validate your transness, says Hunter.
Well, that's
Okay.
kind of a weird. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Again, if femininity is something you aspire to, you should invest intentionally in that. But if you were born a woman,
Right.
why do you have to invest in
Or
learning how
have
to
it
be
be
feminine?
something that you oh, I get what you're saying, yeah. These
Yeah.
trans. Yeah, they're a lot well, I mean, obviously, they have no logic. I was gonna say their logic's all over the place, but
Right.
it's really just a total lack of logic.
Yeah.
Also, just femininity is like a weird why is femininity like an aspirational thing?
Right.
Like, it doesn't get you anything. If anything, it's like
Hits you hard.
yeah, it's like you're way worse off.
No, I mean it gets them hard.
Oh. Thought you said it hits you hard. But,
Oh, it
like,
gets
I'm
them
just saying
hard.
even as speaking as a cis woman, um, you
Yes.
know, I mean, we had so many conversations about how femininity is harmful for cis women, you know?
Mhm.
So, it's just like it's so weird that these men are aspiring to something that is handcuffs to a woman. Like, it is really so they fetishize our oppression. They literally fetishize our oppression, which is sick.
I agree.
That's so it's so sick to, like, get off to the fact that women are oppressed in this specific way and to like romanticize it and idealize it and want that for yourself. Like it
Mhm.
is literally makeup is oppressive to women. Even if you like it, even if you do it. I know some people out there like it and they do it or whatever. That doesn't mean it's not oppressive as a system, right?
Of
It's
course.
oppressive, feminine this performance, like putting on the mask, like it doesn't help any of us. It's per se oppressive per se. Someone corrected me. Um, oh,
They said
race
it's like
play.
race play.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
All they're aspiring to be is aroused.
I mean, what percentage of these guys end the day with a boner, you know?
Most of
It's
them.
gotta be like pretty high.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Erin, what a spelling, Lang, an activist, organizer, and the host of First Person on PBS, told Bustle she believes that, with gender being about performance and energy, it has to be uncovered and allowed to flourish in a safe environment. I would argue that Monica's service is so successful for that reason. She gives trans women a safe space to explore their gender identity, expressions, and mannerisms before they have to try in the world and fail. Wow, way to say
Again, yeah, this is just so weird. Like, just I do feel this is from 2018, right? Like, I feel like this article wouldn't be written in this way now. Like, I feel like a lot has changed and a
Mm-hmm.
lot has
Oh, big
happened
time.
with
But
this
in such a
kind
short
of
amount of time.
yeah. Because I feel like there's no self-consciousness in this person saying with gender being about performance and energy. And, like, I don't know that anyone would describe it that way now because that just makes it feel like it's, like, not a real thing, like, that it's this that it is a mask, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Sidebar, Willow said Millie Bobby Brown got engaged. She's like
she's,
18
like,
years old.
18, yeah, what the heck? She's really young.
Oh boy. Well, I hope her engagement and marriage is happy and successful.
That's nice.
I know. Okay. Some also seek Prada's help for reasons besides self expression. The Trump administration's efforts to deprive trans people of equal rights, from the proposed military ban to rolling back policies that prevent health insurance companies from discriminating against trans patients, have led many to try to get gender affirming ID sooner than later. Prada
Mhm.
says she has experienced a 30% increase in demand for her services since the 2016 election and believes that for these clients, paying attention to one's femininity is a means of affirming one's personal safety. I can't change how others evaluate my clients' worth, said Prada, but I do strive to help my clients achieve what they deem effective and genuine presentation so they can stay safe.
The safest they would be is if they just present as a man.
Right. Literally, that's the most
She's not
privileged,
making
safe position
Yeah,
in the
she's
world.
not making them safer, like, because
No.
they still don't pass. They're still,
Right.
like, 6'3", size 14 shoe. By the way,
Ring.
no offense to women who are that size, but, like, you know, that's
But they're
make
still women.
right, true. But it's like these, the whole thing, the male body, right? Like,
Hmm.
you can't there's no makeup you can put on shoulders to make them not look like,
Right. Shoulder feminization surgery.
probably somebody
I'm
who's
sure
tried to
it's
get
coming.
that.
It's
Yeah.
coming for sure. Oh, that reminds me. I saw there is literally feet feminization surgery.
Oh, right,
It's a real
right.
thing for
Yeah,
these
where they,
men.
like,
They like
shorten the
shorten
feet.
your toes and like cut
Ugh.
out parts of your toe bones.
Oh my god, so gross.
Ugh.
And
Drink water,
Blanket the
sis.
cat says
Oh,
big oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
big men hit differently than big women. Right, and, like, a big man in a dress, like, he's not safe. I mean, he's not as safe as a big man in man's clothing. Is
No,
that a spicy take?
no, not at all.
Yeah.
All right. So here we've got Monica with who is this? Client Amaya, of course.
Yeah, let's just look at the
Amaya.
2 of them for a second. Oh, that I don't know if I said that in the stream, but I was joking about that before, that, like, one reason I would be good at this job, at her job, is because she must be tiny, right? Because every single picture of her with Tim's, she looks so tiny and her face and
Yeah, look at
everything. I'm like, "I'm big. I'm 5'9". I got a big head. I got big hands." Like,
it. You'll
I
make them
posed
look
Yeah,
delicate.
exactly. If I posed with my clients, they would not look as manly.
You're
Um,
too funny.
yeah, but, like, just look at the 2 of them together. It's like his head is, like, literally twice the size of her head.
Gonna zoom out a bit so you can kind of see the.
Yeah. Like, everything about that guy is and he is literally standing at the most flattering possible angle,
Uh-huh.
right?
With the hair covering the face and shit.
Yeah, and, like, the
Oh.
shoulders turned away and the butt
Mhm.
sticking out, and you can still it's, like, not even he just looks like a dude, like, everything is so Yes, yes, like, every single part of his body is like m oh, that's really spicy.
Yes. Yeah, that's a man.
Yeah,
Okay, let's get back. I
okay.
have to, whoops.
I like how that picture, like, obscured her feet, so it's just yeah, like, everything they did in that picture was to make him look more, like, feminine,
Uh-huh.
you know? And, like and still, he's, like, insanely not passing.
Right. Okay. Trans women of color are the LGBTQ population's most vulnerable to violence. The Human Rights Campaign tracked 28 deaths of transgender people by fatal violence in 2017 and 16 such deaths in 2018 thus far. The vast majority of which are women of color, yet most of Prada's clients, regardless of whether they are looking to feel safer or more comfortable, are white. Mhm. Imagine that. Rich white men.
Yeah. Right.
um, Prada feels her price point is likely a major factor. Right. Yeah, that's very exclusionary of her to not consider her poor trans women of color.
Yeah, you know, it makes me feel think of the movie, Paris is Burning.
Yeah,
Like,
oh
they're all,
yeah,
like, super poor, like,
very much so.
transsexual or what was the other word? Transvestite, you know,
Transvestites.
back in the day.
Yeah,
That's
when
what they
they
called it.
understood who they were and didn't think they were.
Yeah, and
That's a
they
great
you
documentary.
know, and, like, and there is the story in that of the one who does get M-worded, and, like so that's
Yeah.
what I think of when I think, like, that's a vulnerable population. Yeah, in a way they are, you know? In
Yeah,
a
but
way
also
they
in that
are.
doc, like that was also the 80s.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But primarily they were poor
Prostitutes,
women
drug
of or
addicts,
trans women of color, drug addicts, prostitutes, very high risk lifestyle, um,
runaways,
runaways.
no family
Yes.
connection, they're
Yes.
gay in a time when it was not acceptable to be gay.
Yep. Yep, yep,
So,
yep.
underworld kind of dwelling and, like, group home type, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the thing we're talking about, and we know the rates of violence against women are so much higher. It's so they really twist and skew kind of all of this stuff, and very few of these people are actually M-worded because they are trans,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
It's not they're
Yes.
not like hate crimes, they're like they just happen to be trans,
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
right.
That's how they frame it. They do a lot of stuff to kind of
Like
intentionally
obfuscating the
obscure
truth.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so Prada feels her price point is likely a major factor. While transgender Americans are twice as likely to live in poverty than cisgender Americans, the National Center for Transgender Equality reported in 2015 that 40% of transgender people who identified as Latinx, that makes me laugh every time,
Yeah.
Native American, Black, and multiracial experience poverty.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me, like,
No, not at
for
all.
other reasons we just talked about, and, like, yeah, in those communities, it's even less, like, acceptable to
Right.
not be to be gay or to not be
Hmm.
gender conforming or whatever. So they are gonna be homeless and runaways and things like that.
In the interest of making her service more accessible, remember this is 2018, now it costs double
Yeah.
what it did.
Yeah.
Prada is planning a series of low cost, small group workshops this fall, which cover topics like makeup application, feminine body language, and, said Prada, a fun, confidence building outing where some of the women who may have never gone out will have an opportunity to express their femininity for the first time in the comfort and safety of a group outing.
Oh my god, this just
Girls'
makes me wanna
Day!
do it, like, so much more. Like, I wanna hang out with a group of these guys.
Right?
And it's funny because when I signed up for the, wait list, I did put she, her as my pronouns, you know?
I
So
can't
it's
wait for you to get a response.
which
We'll have
it's
to do an
like,
update.
I am a she, her, help
Yeah.
me out. I don't do anything. I literally don't do anything to express my gender. So maybe I do need this, you know? I'm a she, her, but I don't feel like I'm doing anything to be a she, her,
Right.
you know?
You just are
So,
one.
yeah. So maybe like I'm like these guys, you know, they're she, hers, and they need to figure out how to do that.
Uh-huh. All right. So these classes will be $100 each, with a quarter of class space reserved for clients who can't afford the class and will attend for free. Oh, scholarship program.
Yeah, nice.
It's not really fair that right now the majority of people who are able to afford my services are the super wealthy and also happen to be white, said Prada.
I mean, you could, yeah, I mean, you could also lower your prices, lady.
You could, right? Yeah.
It's not fair.
While Prada spends 80% of her time with clients who are in the process of transitioning or have already transitioned, 20% of her time is spent with clients who spend the day presenting as a woman before returning to their day to day lives where they present as male. That
Yeah,
sounds
that sounds really prostitute-y,
familiar.
really fetishy. So these are just guys who just want to. I mean, that sounds like a yeah, totally. That sounds like prostitution in a sense.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you're spending
Yeah, their double life.
some guy's gonna pay you $3,000 to just like
Spend time with
play
him.
dress up with you, and you
Hmm.
indulge him, and you're like, "Oh, you look so beautiful, Tina." You know?
Prissy.
Yeah.
Ugh. Why are there no Tims named Margaret or like Mildred or Agatha? Why is it all like Chrissy, Robin, Tina, Annabelle, Charlotte?
Yeah.
Well, okay, some identify as male and just want the feminine experience, while
Again, it's
others,
very, like, porny,
yes,
like, creepy.
yeah,
Yeah.
while others identify as trans but feel crippled by the idea of transitioning publicly. Most have successful careers and families where they present as male. And in our current deeply transphobic culture, they fear losing everything if they disclose that their gender identity is female. They keep their sessions with Prada a secret. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
they got to this place of being like a husband and a father and like a powerful businessman, I'm sure, because this is New York City, because they're men. And it's not,
Yeah,
they couldn't have done this if they weren't men.
again, everything they described in the last 2 paragraphs just makes it sound like a total, like, a prostitution escort type
Right.
thing. Like, except without the sex, but, like, it's fantasy fulfillment. There
Yep.
are lots of women who do that with no sex, like dominatrixes and stuff. The guy
Mhm.
comes in, gets into his underwear or whatever, and she hits him with a whip, and, like, then he goes home and lives his life.
Mhm.
You know? How is this any different than that? It's like, oh, they wanna be degraded, basically.
Exactly. Well, of course, yeah. Ugh, gross. One of these clients who requested anonymity, did I
Anonymity?
say that right?
Mhm.
Anonymity, thank you, Jesus. It's a business leader, there we go, who self describes as living in a rural East Coast town, aka wealthy. He has children and a wife
Mhm.
who doesn't know he works with Prada. He has only visited her studio once and prefers to speak to her on the phone. He reports no plans to transition.
Who was the person who just said it in the chat that this sounds like phone sex workers?
Oh, did someone say that? The chat
Yeah.
is flying. I won't be able to find it, but
Yeah. Um, I mean, how yes, they're literally describing a prostitute. The last 3 paragraphs, like, they're it's completely indistinguishable from what a prostitute would do. Am I wrong?
not at all. Okay. He reports no plans to transition. Oh, wait, I gotta scroll up. I don't want to give this away, this picture.
Okay.
The majority of Prada's clients are older and wealthy, and she finds that they are interested in a different version of femininity than her younger clients. I think young people today Where am I? I think young people today are more comfortable being fluid, said Prada. They have less ideas of the binary gender presentation. The body positivity with younger trans people is so much greater than with the older people who are much more critical. They have a much more defined idea of what it means to look feminine and what it means to be feminine. Prada feels she has much to undo with older clients. I'm having to undo a lot of stereotypes of what femininity means and what femininity looks like, and I vehemently fight against it. I tell them not to dumb it down. Don't be demure. Don't tone down your personality.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. It's like, well, obviously they have this stereotypical version of what they think femininity is.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Yeah.
tone down your personality. I mean, that's what it is, though. It's
Right.
like, what do you think it is? You think
But a woman would never get to have the public personality of like a white wealthy businessman, right? Like she can't do that. She has to be demure and tone it down.
right, of course. Yeah, try negotiating as a woman and not how about oh my god, where did I see that the other day? It was like writing an email as
As a
a
woman,
woman or whatever.
using the word just.
It's like,
I just
all
want to.
yeah,
I'm just
you know,
asking.
right.
No pressure. Hmm.
The way men write emails versus the way women write emails.
Hmm. Yep. Lying in the chat.
I know you've been in the chat a lot.
I'm sorry. People are funny.
I
Okay.
know.
So who's this? This is Gina Bloom. Oh, this is who they're.
Right, Gina was in that video. I mean, like, that's not the okay, that guy just looks so also, he just looks very, like, 80s or something to me, like, he looks
I
like
know.
it's the makeup, like, the frosty lipstick, like, he just looks like a very stereotypical, like, 80s version of a woman or something.
Hmm. The
I
frosted
mean,
lip.
yeah,
I don't
like, he does not pass at all. I
know.
mean, compared to some of these guys she worked with, like, it's
Sorry,
it's
Gina.
just a no. So,
Ah, the AGP head tilt.
yeah. He does have kinda small shoulders, though.
Uh-huh.
Like, not that bad. Maybe he had the shoulder surgery.
Maybe. But with gender fluidity allowing for less rigid presentations of gender, the focus has become being the truest version of oneself. I'm adamant about running a business that celebrates my clients for simply holding space for their femininity. Whether that's just coming in for the session or setting up a phone call, it's so valuable and so meaningful. You're honoring that part of yourself. You're saying to yourself, yes, this exists. I'm paying attention to it.
Man, she's such a saleswoman.
No kidding.
Like, she knows how to sell herself. I give her credit. There's certain things that I do give her credit for,
I
but,
know.
like,
She
she's
is a
very
business woman.
yeah, like, she has this way of selling this thing that's totally useless and superficial and making this, like, meaningful thing, you know? That it's, like, self-care.
Oh, boy. Bloom believes every penny she spent on Nouveau She was worth it because Monica provides an expertise that is completely rare and she should be allowed to charge whatever the market allows. It is a free market economy. More than anything, Prada helped Bloom feel comfortable not only with her appearance, but more importantly, herself, so she could find her tribe. I want to fit in with the people I want to fit in with. I think Monica has given me the ability to do that. For example, there's a secret group of female comics on Facebook. To get into it, you need to be vouched for by 2 people. I was vouched for by 15 people, said Bloom. If I wasn't really comfortable in my femininity, they wouldn't be. I can move in a lot of worlds because of Monica. Although she no longer attends paid sessions with Prada, Bloom now considers her a close friend. After all, Prada is someone who has always seen her for exactly who she is.
Is that the end? Okay, I have to recommend that you share your screen as you're doing now and go to Gina Bloom's Instagram, which I'm looking at. Like, I have to say, because I'm like, this is 5 years ago. Like, what is this guy?
Oh,
Um,
Gina
I'll
Bloom
tell you,
Instagram.
yeah.
Can you still
Like
see this?
he looks pretty good, you know. I would say he's improved since, like, he's definitely had like FFS, right?
Definitely.
Like, he's definitely more passing than before. I mean, again, there's still photos, so like his
Yeah,
like
still
profile
photos.
picture like
Ooh.
is not that unpassing though.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
So he he ran with it.
He sure
Good for
did.
him.
Do you want to see one more horror show of the stuff you can buy to express the woman you are?
Oh yeah, I do. Everyone else here does too. Oh
Okay,
yes.
so I found this Tumblr post. Well, actually, it was sent to me by my friend T, who has been on my stream before, but she sent it to me because she was like, "This is relevant to your what you're talking about tonight." So she sent it to me. The link is in the description box for the uncensored version, if you dare. uh,
Oh
but these are
yeah.
just some of the products on the market for Tim's to really woman up.
Yeah. Some of them are pretty creepy. Mm.
Yeah, an entire silicone torso that you put on like a shirt with whatever size breasts you would like.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Mm. That's really
Gross.
gross.
That's so creepy. I mean, yeah, the uncensored
I
version
wonder
is at
what's
the
like
link.
on the back side of it. Or I guess is it like stretchy? Probably.
Yeah.
Because
It's
like if you
silicone,
have any
rubbery.
flesh there, like, you know what I mean? Like some of these
No, I don't.
guys have kind of, they have like moobs, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's like if it's like tight.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah, I'm
Is it
sure it
like
does.
have like some,
Unless they can fit their moves into the
ugh,
breasts.
it's so, it's like so nauseating actually to think about
I
that.
know. I know.
Why does this
Buy a female
exist?
body to
Like
wear to
imagine
yours.
working at that factory that makes those
I know. And you know it's like a
in
third
like
world
China.
impoverished
I
grandma.
know. It's probably, yeah, I know. I know.
Ugh.
Imagine imagine the like Bangladeshi women working in this factory or whatever. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
for these
Just
guys
being
to get their
like,
dick off,
yeah,
to get
so
their rocks
damn
off.
pervy.
Yeah. Um, you can also buy silicone arm gloves and hands
Oh,
because
that's so serial killer. That's so creepy.
oh my god. And then these food supplement feminizer pills, whatever the hell those are, I don't know. But the hand silicone glove things freaked me the F out.
Yeah, but also it's like putting more stuff over your already large hands is
I
not going to make
know.
them smaller.
No, I don't understand. But I
It's
guess
because they're
they
like not
have that
veiny or
feminine look.
something.
Yeah.
I have veiny hands.
Ugh. Oh my god, is that the actual description? No, those are the brilliant words from my own mind. Yeah, very Ed Gein. Very Ed Gein.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Um,
Oh.
our next one. This is the worst of the worst. I am so sorry to present this to you all.
Oh
It's
yeah.
heavily
Ew,
censored.
no.
It's so censored because I could not put this on YouTube without it. But you can see the uncensored version at the link in the description box. Oh, it is so much worse than female face masks. Here we go. These are little cups that are designed to look like a vulva that you can wear over your penis to present a silicone vulva. And it comes, you can kind of sort of see multi different colors depending on what race you are or you want to pretend to be. I'm so sorry. I had to heavily censor it because I could not like really show it, but it is
It's
that's a
so
thing that
messed up.
exists.
And
That's
it's
a thing
also
that
like
exists.
doesn't look even remotely like the real thing.
I know. Well, yeah, I know. Ugh. It's time for another flood.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
This one is bad. Um.
Ugh, gross.
Oh, says I've seen those pills before. Pretty sure they claim to make your breasts bigger. Okay. And then of course we've got. If that's not enough, you can buy our
Yeah.
faces. A
No.
full-on skin face that you put over your own head. Uh.
Imagine
I
if
don't.
you saw someone out in public with that on,
Ah!
right?
Terrifying.
Awful.
Oh, so horrible. Lee.
Thank you.
Oh. Michelle says, I've just ordered an entire pallet of Blaine bleach. Holy crap.
Lane
Brain
Breach?
bleach. Oh. Every
I know
item is copied from
we
10
should have put some
screenshots.
eye bleach in this. Put
I
some like cute
know, I'm
little kitties or
sorry.
something. Yeah, this is really that is
Yeah.
nightmare
Anyway,
fuel. Yeah.
that's that. Thanks for
Yeah.
coming to our stream. It's a horror show.
Yeah. No, I thought that was
So
really
yeah, what do we
good.
think about Monica?
I mean, I don't know. She's a real interesting character. It is interesting that she's like kind of probably the only person doing this. I can't imagine there are many other people doing it. I mean, there are definitely like, I did that stream about black femininity and don't nobody come for me for making that comparison, but there are these women who are like femininity coaches and stuff in the
In the
black
cisgender world.
community. I also don't like that expression either, but for black women, like coaching them to be more feminine and stuff.
Yeah.
And
According to what standards though? Like white
yeah.
European standards or
Well, yeah, well that's interesting too.
that's sad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just Willow said Mrs. Midwest. Is that like a YouTube channel or there is
I,
this like I feel like there's this movement towards hyperfemininity, right?
I
Over the
would think so,
last
or I would agree, yeah.
I got into YouTube by watching makeup tutorials.
Yeah, there was like an
Oh, the
era of YouTube when it was like
irony.
I
Look at
know.
me now. Yeah, like
Came through
2012,
the other side.
2012 to like 2014, like just like makeup tutorials. Because that was like,
Mhm.
if you were a woman on YouTube, that's what everyone was doing. It was like,
Yep.
that's how you be a woman on YouTube, was to do makeup tutorials or to watch makeup tutorials, which is really interesting. And then it's like, oh, all our role models for empowerment, really, which is like these young women who are doing something creative and business oriented and all this stuff. It was like, but it was all
Ugh.
oriented around makeup. So it's like interesting that those things of empowerment and business sense and stuff like got interlocked with makeup. And then I think it's just gone from there. It's almost like, I don't know how much, YouTube is very popular. Like you can attribute the rise of a lot of this stuff to like that probably. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Anyone?
Potentially. Ugh. Let's see.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Is Mrs. Midwest a tradwife influencer?
Yeah.
Tradwife movement.
Yeah.
Hi, expired milk.
Hola.
No, it's a YouTube channel and blog run by one woman. Yeah, there's the whole bimbo movement happening right now too, which is so freaky.
Yeah,
hate that shit.
I don't do TikTok at all. I just watch the YouTube Shorts,
Mhm.
which is like sort of a derivative version of TikTok, but like I could see that stuff. I mean, this goes in hand with like the Gen Alpha or whatever being like, you know, and Gen I'm Gen Z, young Gen Z, Gen Alpha being like, yeah, feminism went too far.
Ugh.
You know, it's all tied up in the same thing. It's like it's so regressive. It's so regressive. Oh my god, I have this whole I should make a playlist actually. Like I have it in a note stock or whatever, but they're all just links to YouTube videos that are like super misogynistic. Just like anytime anything comes up in my feed that's like but I saw this video and it was like a podcast or something and this guy, it was like a guy and a bunch of women. All the women were just sitting there silently and the guy is talking and they were all white. And the guy is talking about how Japanese women, they're so demure and they're so accommodating and that's why they're the dream woman because everything
Mm.
they do it's all about how they reflect on their father and like they know that their actions reflect on the men around them and stuff and that's why they're so polite and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my god, this is disgusting. This is like literally the definition of misogyny and the stuff just like it's got like tons of likes and none of the comments are like critical of it at all. They're all like, oh yes, so true. You
Oh,
know?
where are the brains?
I know, like, we
What
this
is
is why
going on?
we have to keep just fighting back against it and pushing back against it.
Always.
You just have to. Like, you can never stop.
Lily.
It will just it's like pond scum or something. I don't know. It's just like bacteria.
Big time.
Yeah.
Men are always the
Julie
biggest
says, oh, yeah.
profiteers.
Okay.
Yep. Oops. What? The
Yeah.
chat moves too fast.
Yeah.
I hate how the pendulum swings between conservative versus liberal misogyny. No winning.
Yep.
Well, this is interesting. The weird
Yeah.
anime cat girl gamer headphone culture is gross as fuck. Yeah, like
Yeah.
the anime gamer girlfriend. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Men think feminism goes too far because in actuality they want slaves. That's why lib fem equality narratives don't work.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Ugh,
Yeah, it's a lot to think about, you know?
I know.
It really is like
It seems like, yeah. I mean, how many times a day do I text you like because something insane has happened, and I'm like, oh, there's
oh
no hope
yeah.
for women. That Fiona Apple quote. There's no hope for women. There's no hope for women.
Yeah, I mean the answer has to just be individualism, I guess. And just, you know, be existing outside of these systems as much as you can. Like you
Right.
obviously can't exist 100% outside of it, but to the extent you can,
Mm-hmm.
divorcing yourself from this stuff.
Ugh.
I mean, there are ways to do it, right? Like you can reject femininity
Of course. I mean, we do.
and you can just not care what people think of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the hardest one.
Yeah, it takes practice. It's not
Yeah.
going to be easy right off the bat.
It's really drilled into us. I sent you this essay I've started working on about how we're trained and we're really conditioned, groomed,
Groomed,
is another word for that.
prepared.
Yeah. To be compliant to all of these things which are ultimately harmful to us, and they have to do that training and that grooming
Mm-hmm.
because you would never do something that was so against your self-interest without training and grooming and coercion and all this other stuff. You wouldn't do it.
Right. Makes me
You
sad.
know? And you have like undoing the training
Mm-hmm.
is yes, for me the killer was a constant concern to be polite. That's exactly what I'm writing about.
Uh-huh.
Just about to hit my 30s and only now shaking the habit. And like yeah, I mean, I think it's I know for myself it's going to be I accept that it's going to be a lifelong
Process.
work in progress. Yeah.
Yeah. Constant
I'm
vigilance.
I know I'm never gonna get there, but like I
Mm-hmm.
have to keep trying because it's not gonna make me happy to comply. I know that I have so much evidence of that.
Yeah.
So, and every time I've gone down that road of trying compliance, it doesn't bring me happy. And every time I fight the training, I get happier.
That's
So,
wonderful.
yeah. And we hear that so much from women too, you know, you and I.
Mm-hmm.
We hear that they feel happy and they feel more liberated, like not doing the performance and stuff and just living for themselves. That's what it is. It's living for yourself.
Right. Putting yourself
Because,
first.
yeah, because women are taught that women exist for other people, that we don't have any individual personhood outside of our connections to other people, our relationships to other people. We only exist in relation to other people. So the biggest like way to fight against that is really to exist for yourself,
Yes.
you know?
Putting yourself first, prioritizing yourself, and yeah, it's a daily process.
It is. Because the training is hitting you constantly. It's not like something that happens. It's not something that happens when you're 5 years old and then that's it. You're done. You're
Right.
indoctrinated. Like I've been into radical feminism for like 4 years or something, which is not even that long, but like I'm
Mhm.
still getting hit with it every day.
Of course, I'm on my 10th year, and
Yeah, you're getting hit with
um,
it too.
of course, of
And you're
course.
very lesbian, separatist, whatever,
Err.
and it's like still you can you can feel and you just can't let your guard down and you have to stay vigilant, like
Mhm.
cuz the training is so strong that you'll revert to it. And that's what I was writing about was like that it's what becomes instinctual, right? So it like overrides our instincts. And then when you're in a
Right,
stressful situation, you fall back on that training.
right.
So whoever was saying about being polite or whatever, like it's like you're so trained to do that. Then when you're put in a situation that's like novel or stressful or scary or something, and you don't have time to think and you don't have um
Yep.
you override your instincts and you really yeah, it becomes your second nature, this training that's like harmful to you
Mhm.
but beneficial to other people's desires.
Right. Yeah, it no longer you no longer put yourself first, or no longer consider your own needs or safety or anything, because you want to be kind, be nice, be
Yeah.
accommodating, be
Yeah.
polite, be helpful, be
Right.
good.
Right. And
Mm.
that's a person is not always putting everyone in front of their needs.
Right.
And it's also like, I feel like people leverage that idea too, that it's like, oh, well, it is good to be selfless and generous and
Mhm.
empathetic. Like, those are actually good qualities.
Of course.
But when you're putting those things ahead of, it's really when you're putting other people's wants ahead of your needs.
Needs. Yep. You nailed it.
Yeah. That it's like, yeah, those are good things. Being generous, being empathetic and stuff. That's great. And everyone should be more of that to some degree, especially men.
Mhm.
But women are taught to be those things no matter what, and even if it puts us in danger,
Yes.
you know. Yeah, it's like a reflex. Exactly. Because you're trained, it's just training. Like I said, the analogy that I said was like a SWAT team or whatever. They do the
Right.
exercises over and over and over and over again. So when they get in that stressful situation, they don't have to think and they don't go by their instinct. They just go according to their training,
Mhm.
you know? And I think it's like really, really, really important to think about that.
Yeah.
How can we be undoing this training every
This
day?
is good. Agony
Mm.
says, I spoke with a coworker about the importance of not strictly seeing selfishness as a negative. Too many women we know are sick from selflessness.
Yeah, can I read you a poem that I wrote?
Oh my God, of course.
Okay. Okay. Be selfish. It's such a radical idea that you might reflexively recoil when you hear those two words. Be selfish. But that's because this most human survival instinct has been clubbed out of you. You've been conditioned to continuously give yourself to others, your time, your bodies, your self-esteem. Don't.
Mm.
Keep those things for yourself. You need them. You don't owe anyone anything just because you were born female. Be selfish.
Be selfish. I love that. When did you write that?
Probably like a year ago or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Snap, 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 snap.
Thanks. Yeah, I wanted
Thank
to make that
you.
into like a little short video, but people will take it the wrong way, you know?
Ugh,
But
always.
like, yeah, I think it is. I think that's a really,
It's a great poem. Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you.
Words to
Just,
live by.
it's like, just important to put yourself first sometimes.
Mm.
But people would interpret that message of being selfish as a bad thing because it's not how we see women. For like a man, yeah. It's like a given.
Yeah. Um, yeah. A selfish woman is like the worst thing there is.
Right. Well, and that's like what when, they often say like, "Oh, child-free people, they're so selfish."
Hmm.
It's like
What
actually
is what could possibly be
not
selfish about
not contributing to climate change.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess call me selfish. I like my life how it is and I don't want to
But it's not
give it up.
that's not like
Right.
selfishness.
That's and why
Just
shouldn't that be my perspective? Like I
yeah,
don't owe children to anyone.
exactly. You only think that's selfish if you think that a woman owes children to people.
Right. Exactly.
I I I'm sorry, but my uterus is mine to do with as I please.
Right. Literally, my body, my choice. I am not going to have a child.
Yeah. We were talking a little bit before the stream about how they're going to ration the Colorado River.
Oh my God, it's so crazy.
And I just was like, this is it. Like the apocalypse is like not apocalypse, but like
Collapse?
collapse is here. How could you bring a child into that now,
I don't
knowing?
know.
I don't mean 10 years ago or 15 years ago or something. The world was different. I mean, like, right, 2023. making that decision. It's so bleak.
Yeah, when a country is to the point where they're going to develop ways to ration a river.
Right.
Like, just think about that for a second. Just think about that.
Yeah. Because they've depleted. Oh my God, there was a crazy picture. Let me see if I can send it to you. Because I couldn't even process what was going on in this picture. I was like, took me a while. Here, let me put it on
For
here.
Pete's sake, my freaking Discord is doing that thing again. Where I can't open it. Hold on. I might have to hold on. Just you're gonna have to bear with me here.
Hold on a second. Maybe I can share it. I mean, if
maybe you can do it.
If anyone's interested. But just to go along with this. Chrome tab, share. Can you see that?
Yep, there it's up.
Yeah, so I couldn't even figure out what this was a picture of, but that was a boat launch. Like how the road ends.
So that used to be in the water.
Exactly. That's where the river used to be.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And actually you can see in the background too, the rocks are white. You know, there's like a line of white in the way background.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's where the water level used to be. I mean, it's crazy.
That's horrifying.
There are like lakes, like Lake Chad in Africa. Like it basically is just totally drained, you know, like
right. Oh my God.
All over the world. Like this is our water that we drink. 50 million people drink water from
the Colorado
River. So it's just very dystopian, you know?
Yes, it is. What is going on here? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, weird. I had a weird cutout sound and I was like, what the heck happened?
Yeah, it does sound slightly different, but yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I opened Discord and that's when it cut out. So let me just close Discord again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't even know how to parse through the whole Colorado River thing. What are you laughing at?
Useless's comment. Side note, I really love that a country is named Chad. It's hilarious. Yeah, no, I mean, when I saw that story, I was like, this is one of those stories that people don't realize how big of a story this is. Like, it's just it's so indicative of the issues we're about to face. Like the fact that food prices just went like crazy already. And then you're talking about rationing 25% of the water California uses in a major area of growing our food. Like food prices we're going to get no relief from that. I mean, but what's the alternative? Like you can't just keep draining this river. It's not like a bottomless resource. So I don't know, man.
It's like also the first, like this is the first step, I guess, or the first thing, the first catastrophic thing. Like,
yeah,
what's next?
Yeah, I mean, if in a way it's like weird. In a way, like, oh no, I love doomer stuff. In a way, everyone else here does too. In a way, it's like I'm sure it's not the first, right? But like it does feel like the first, right? It feels like this is just like the first little indication that something is massively catastrophically wrong and we need to make a shift, you know? But like Dragon Fox says the West Coast is done for. What about fires and stuff? Like
every single year.
Yeah.
It's that time.
I remember talking about it a couple years ago, how in Connecticut we had days that would have been sunny days, you know, like there were not actually clouds, but it was 100% totally overcast from the smoke from fires 3,000 miles away. And it's not even safe to breathe it here.
Yep.
to breathe the air here, and it's like 100% fully white overcast. And, like, and that's just me complaining as a person who's like, oh, it's the sun. You can't see the sun. But it's also like, yeah, how bad is it out there? Right. Or in Australia or somewhere.
No. We get the BC is on fire every year, British Columbia.
Yeah.
And it blows west, of course, to me.
Right.
And same thing, like it
East.
can be, yeah, Jesus, east. Whoa.
From
I
the
am,
west.
boy,
Yeah.
it goes east. Jeez. And I remember a couple of years ago, one of the fires in BC was so bad that I left work at 11 at night when I had my old job.
Yeah.
And it was obviously dark, but
Yeah.
the street lights were on and you could just see the smoke
Like, hey,
billowing in the street lights.
that's crazy.
It was so, like, if you think about fog in street lights, it looked like that, but it was smoke.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, it really was.
Existential said there's a fire warning here in Massachusetts. We had one in Connecticut today too.
Oh,
They call it a red flag warning. Like,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, I didn't know Ice Goddess was in New Jersey. We have our little lake.
East Coasters.
Tri-state / New England. And Endeavor's in New England too. Oh my gosh, how freaking cool.
Massachusetts.
So
I love how, whoops.
expires in Philly. Wow.
Connecticut is in Connecticut.
We have like a
real
little northeast like contingent here. Nice.
No kidding.
That's so cool.
Lily's
Amtrak squad.
Amtrak squad. Too funny.
Colorado or Colorado?
Colorado. Right?
Okay. I don't think there's a wrong way. Useless is in
Colorado.
Norway.
Colorado. I would not say Colorado.
Colorado.
I think I'm right in the middle of whatever that is. Colorado. I don't know.
How cool. Dragonfox is in New Mexico. New Mexico is dope as hell. I have a video about New Mexico.
Oh.
Yeah, I went on a road trip in New Mexico. It was sick. People there are so friendly. It's like really one of the nicest places I've ever been.
Aw.
And like Western Texas. Chill. It's also just such a beautiful part of the country, but it's dry. I mean, obviously, it's like the desert.
Yeah, I have not been to those places. I've been to Arizona, Nevada, California, Utah.
Where in Nevada?
Vegas.
Oh, me too. I've been to Vegas more than I've been anywhere else. That's my number one.
Oh, really? I've never been as an adult though. It was when I was a teenager. Yeah, my family was on like a road trip. We drove from here to Mexico. And
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I love Las Vegas.
We did all of the states, on that. We did like the actual coastal states on the way down.
And
then the Arizona, Nevada, Utah.
Wow. That's intense. Yeah, Existential said, I love to see a place in New Mexico, never been to the desert. I think everyone should go experience the desert at some point. Yeah, it's like really nothing like it. I'm a forest girl. I have to be around trees and stuff, but like when I go on vacation, I almost always go to the desert.
Oh, interesting.
It is yellow tinted. I went to the George O'Keeffe Museum.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
Was it very
vaginal? Vulvalicious? Kinda, yeah.
Did you know apparently she didn't really like people saying that her work was remnant of vulvas?
I don't know if I did know that. I
feel like I heard that somewhere.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. She
I mean,
did
but
actually, like, paint lots of other stuff and, like, landscapes and
yeah.
stuff, but
Yeah, she did. She was great. I'm with Willow. I can't do heat. I need cold. Oh my God, same.
yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I basically can't either, so I don't know why I like
I
going to the
know.
desert. But I've been to the desert only, like, in the fall and spring. I've never, like, been when it was really hot.
Mm,
So, but
yeah, time of year would matter.
yeah, I don't think I could ever do a vacation. I feel like we've had many conversations. I want to say devolve, but like had many conversations evolve into just talking about travel and stuff.
Yeah,
But um like going to the Caribbean or something for a vacation. I don't think I could do that because I
I
just
never
can't
would.
do like sun and beach and
No,
stuff.
I would
Like
never.
that to me is kind of my nightmare.
Me too. I would never.
I'm so sensitive to the sun and stuff. Like even I've been to Florida a couple times
Ugh, no way.
and
I would
like
never go to Florida.
it's very bright. Like even going down to like Maryland or something, like it's just so much brighter and sunnier than here.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I live in one of the top 3 sunniest cities in Canada.
I know that's wild. But you're so northern,
Yeah, it's
like
not super hot here.
latitude.
But we have like
So
350 days of sun a year.
that's amazing.
It is always
That's
sunny
like
here. Even
every
in the
day.
dead of winter when it's minus 40, it'll
Yeah.
be blue sky and sunshine, but it is
That's
freezing.
wild.
Yeah.
I like a radiated woman's comment. Hello, I'm here to meet
Oh,
my
wait.
turf girlfriend.
Oh,
27F Midwest. That gives me like that goes back to
A-
AOL.
AOL.
Yeah.
ASO.
AOL. Yeah. Flashbacks.
JK, unless. Hi, radiated woman.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Willow says, I had a liver transplant, and strangely, those mess up your heat tolerance. Can't manage heat properly.
Interesting.
Oh, Willow.
Yeah, that sounds intense, obviously.
Men should be required to wear shirts in public. I don't care how hot it is.
Yeah. I want to go to Canada too.
Yes!
Grey Witch says I want to go to Canada someday.
It's the
We
best.
talked about this. I went once. I've been to
Quebec City.
Quebec. Yeah, I went to Montreal for 2 days and Quebec City for 2 days.
But you gotta come to
And
Alberta. That's where it's at. It's beautiful here.
I know. My parents went on a trip there. I think, is it Lake Louise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Banff.
And yeah, Banff. Yeah. Well, when I used to be into rock
Jasper.
climbing, they had like the Banff Mountain Film Festival or whatever, and then they would like tour around with it and stuff. And like I was just always thought, actually, it was my background screen, desktop screen or whatever was a picture of Banff. It just looks like so pretty. Yeah, it's all mountainy, Rocky Mountains.
I can
It's really cool.
see the Rocky Mountains in the distance from my bedroom window.
That's wild. Yeah, that's
They're
a
in the
thing.
distance, but they're right there.
Okay, so that's like a thing about going west, like when you've been from the East Coast or whatever, because we have no views anywhere because of trees. So like anywhere it's like really rare that there's like a view of anything here because that's more than like 20 feet away because it's just trees,
Yes.
But then you go out west and it's like, like Utah or Vegas or whatever. It's just like everything's flat and then there's like mountains in the distance. It's so amazing. Yeah, I love that. Like that big sky, because we do not have that at all.
Yeah, it's endless like sky here.
Yeah.
I knew somebody from England who was here in southern Alberta for a while, and she said she couldn't believe how high up the sky seems here, which is a weird thing to say, but
that's interesting.
Yeah, that always stuck with me when she said that.
That's really cool. Expired Milk says the only state I haven't been to is Alaska. I think I've been to most provinces in Canada too.
Oh
Wow,
yeah,
that's
because
awesome.
she's a tour
right.
manager.
Yeah, that's right.
I remember.
Alaska would be an amazing place to go.
Yeah, I would love
But
to go to
it's
Alaska.
Well, it's not, I don't think it's not as far for you, but it's still pretty darn far.
Oh, very far, very
Yeah.
far away. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's this show. I don't know if you guys have it in the States, but it's called Border Patrol. And it's just about
Okay.
like days in the life of border officers at the
Yeah.
Canadian border. And every single damn episode, there is somebody trying to drive across the border from the USA into Canada so that they can go hunting in Alaska. So they're going to drive all the way up to Alaska to go hunting.
Oh.
And they always have their weapons with them, their hunting rifles and everything. And you cannot
Oh.
have that shit in Canada.
Oh, that's so funny.
And so they always get turned away at the border. It's either you go back or we take your weapons and destroy them. And they're like, but I have a permit. And like, this is Canada.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
Like, it doesn't matter that you're going to Alaska in the United States. You are in Canada for the foreseeable future. Like,
Right.
you got to fly your guns up there.
Oh my God. Or like ship them or something. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so crazy.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Because there's no other way to get to Alaska than going through Canada. Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
you could take a boat.
Yeah, you could. You could. Yeah, it's a wild show. Or the stuff they find in people's luggage is always hilarious.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it always makes me laugh. You can't bring your
Yeah.
guns here. Doesn't matter if you have a permit
No.
or you
Well,
have a license.
I was looking up like what weapons are legal to carry because I mean I don't believe in guns and stuff
Mm-hmm.
because statistically you're not safer with one.
Right.
But and I don't know if that's I haven't looked into whether that's true of other weapons. I was reading a book and they were talking about something called a blackjack. Do you know what that is?
I've never heard of that.
I didn't know what it was either. And like Google it. Google like
I am right
blackjack
now.
weapon or whatever. Because it doesn't look like anything, but
Oh,
apparently
interesting.
they're like super effective because it's just like a little tiny piece of leather with a piece of like a disc of lead in it, which is super heavy. So if you like hit somebody in the face with that or the neck or something, like it can actually kill them.
Whoa.
And and the book that I'm reading about is these women spies, and they were like carrying them, but they are illegal, like super illegal, like everywhere. You cannot, And I guess the reason why they're illegal is not because they wouldn't be used for self-defense. They'd be used by like, thugs or whatever.
Right.
So, yeah. So then I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll get like some pepper spray or something.
Oh,
Because
that's
I want to hike by myself, but like I don't
right.
want to. Yeah, it's literally like just the thing you hold in your hand, and it's like it just gives you like a little,
Yeah.
And I was like, we could like hold a rock or something, hit somebody. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, why am I thinking about this?
Hiking.
Yeah, because I want to hike by myself. And like I went hiking with my brother on Saturday. And we were sock with yeah. I know it's like probably that's illegal too. But then apparently it's not illegal to like use it in self-defense. It's only like illegal to be in possession of it. So say some guy came up and attacked you and you fought back using an illegal weapon or whatever, that you would get charged for possession, but you wouldn't get charged anything else for like using an illegal weapon against somebody if it's in self-defense, But anyways, so yeah, we were hiking and we hiked up on this trail, like up a little mountain near here. And then we walked back on the road and there was a kid and this is like the middle of nowhere. I mean, we didn't pass anybody in an hour of walking, we're like, it's very isolated. That's the thing. Like people were kind of giving me suggestions for like, oh, hike in a more, populated area where there's families and stuff. It's like the good hiking around me, like you can hike for
Right.
hours and hours and see nobody.
Yeah.
And then so it's like we just saw this random kid like walking up this road and I'm like, what would I do if I was by myself? And I just, would I say hi? Like, would I just run as fast as I could and look like a weirdo? Like, you know what I mean? But I feel like
Yeah.
I would feel scared,
Mm.
right? Oh, like the thing is with a knife, because I mean, you can carry a box cutter in Connecticut, stuff like that, but I could never. I'm so squeamish, anyways. Like, I don't even if honestly, even if my life depended on it,
You
you
couldn't do it.
know, I don't think I could. Do not think I could cut somebody with a box cutter. Plus, then you risk using it, having it used against you. But like, yeah, because I thought about that too. I think knives are legal in Connecticut. I think you
There's
can.
nothing legal here.
Oh, I'm
Nothing.
pretty sure you can even carry like a switchblade if it's like the right, you know, length and stuff.
Mm.
Uh, Useless says Lisa's a more blunt violence kind of girl. Like, I mean, oh, and I said to somebody in the comments, and like, I don't want to minimize other women who've gotten attacked, and so like, I've been attacked before, but like, I do feel like there's some moments where I feel like if I could channel the rage,
Right.
then like they would feel sorry for having messed with me. You know what I mean? Like, I
Mm.
feel like even though I'm small and weak and stuff, like I feel like I could channel the rage, but I don't know if that's actually true. Because
Also,
like
that
men are
who's
like
that
insanely
actress?
strong.
Who's that actress that played Cersei on Game of Thrones? I don't know her name, but
Oh.
I've never seen Game of Thrones, but I do remember seeing a clip of her when they asked her about like her I don't know, walking down the hall of a castle scene or something. She was like, I just lift my chin and I think murder. And that's how she walks. And it's like this energy of her exuding her murderous thoughts.
Yeah, I know, and I feel like I've channeled that before too when I've been
Yeah.
hiking alone and a guy is like coming up, you know? It's like,
Hmm.
yeah, just try it, buddy. You know what I mean? Like, just like this
Yes.
feeling of like, yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
fuck with me and find
Do
out,
not
you
mess
know?
with me.
Like,
Look around and find out.
yeah, because I feel like I could channel the fury of like every woman. But I know I'm not trying to like minimize women who've
Of
like
course.
legitimate, you know,
Of
like I
course.
know that push comes to shove, like I know I've seen a man's biceps before. You know what I mean? I understand
Yeah.
that reality. But and I was talking to my mom about this, and she's like, you know, just kick him in the balls. That
Well,
works.
yeah,
Um,
but
yeah. You just have to assume like statistically, but I it got me to thinking like men should really not be allowed to be out unchaperoned.
right.
You know? Like they shouldn't be allowed to be out alone because they're such a threat to women.
I know they
Not
should
that like in
curfew.
groups they're any better, but they should have a chaperone. Someone who is designated as a chaperone.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what did Grey Witch say? I've heard
Oh,
stories where guys got scared with how hard some women fought and they bailed. I mean, that's very, very that's what they say, I think.
turn
Like,
up the crazy.
yeah, in self-defense, because they're not expecting it. So it's like they're just expecting it to go one way, which is just you submit. Men should be on leashes. I agree. It got me to thinking that, like, it's like, oh, if I honestly, I'm not even like I'm saying it kind of in a
I
joking
know.
way, but
I
like
know.
because it ruins our enjoyment of the world to have these individual men out there.
Mm-hmm.
So why should we have, you know, like look at this conversation. It's like why should we have to think about all these things? Why shouldn't it
I
just
know.
be
Yeah, they're the threat.
right? So why don't we just eliminate them,
Honestly.
you know? I know I'm sorry if like I'm all over the place with whatever.
Oh my
And it's
God,
like
no,
your
I'm
channel and stuff too. I'm like
no, I love
steering
it.
the
I think it's so
conversation
funny.
and like,
I love how
oh,
we always start with like one thing, like our presentation or whatever, and then we just go
talking
wherever the
about
chat takes us.
Alaska
It's
and
wonderful.
illegal
There's
weapons.
no agenda here. We talk about what the chat wants to talk about, what we want to talk about. It's great.
Yeah.
It is great.
Yeah, I know.
It can't be
I
fun.
know we've had a couple streams recently where we just like that. There was that comment I think from Adrian about like, where can we hear about radical ramblings emo phase 9/11,
Wait, what
whatever
was the
else.
third thing?
I don't know, but it was
Oh, I can't remember. It
hilarious.
was so funny.
Now I'm like gonna have to look up that comment because that was so funny.
Yes. Oh my god. My emo phase.
Yeah, that was just like
Oh no, Lee. Let's talk about how to pronounce MX.
Mux.
Mux. I can't believe whoever invented this went with Mux when
Mucklux.
Mix was right there.
Well, you can say it. I'm pretty sure you can say it mix too.
Ugh.
But Mux is just so much
Gross.
sillier.
Mux. Imagine calling an adult Mux Johnson, like
Oh, like
in
in
class or
school?
something.
Yeah, I know. So funny. God
Oh,
damn. I'm like looking back in our chat, like, dude, we talk so much.
I know. It's the best.
I'm like, I know I sent you that screenshot.
But how far up is it?
Yeah. Like, just go. Oh my God. Going back to 2 days ago, it's like, damn, dude. Okay, anyways. Oh, yeah, here we go. Where else could we talk about Easter, 9/11, and Love Actually, Biden's stupid TRAism, and radical ramblings emo face?
But on Lisa and Radical's channels.
Yeah,
That's the place for it.
that was a very all over the place stream too. But like honestly,
Mhm.
I think that they're really fun.
I agree. I have a great
Yeah, it's
time.
fun when we just go wherever the conversation. No, because honestly, this is like how our conversations
I
privately
know.
are. And
Privately,
then
we're like
there's so
one to the
many.
next to the next to the next.
Yes, like, especially back when we were doing our, like, real polished streams and stuff, then we would, like, go off and just chat
Talk.
afterwards, and then I would always say, "I wish the chat could be here and, like, hear
I
us now
know.
because
And now we're
this is the real shit." Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, you never know where you're gonna find yourself, and we just go wherever.
Yeah.
It's great. Look at this. You go for the kneecaps, not the balls. Men have practice guarding their balls. Take out their knees like a kangaroo.
Ah, that's a good idea.
It is.
Oh my God, it's more of, and I was thinking about it too, it was like, it's more of the fear of it. It's more of the,
Yeah,
like, the existential horror of it or something, of like just the thought of being in that position
I know.
is like, it's very unlikely it's ever gonna happen. um I don't think I ever told this story, but that
Exclusive.
I was like hit by a guy, by a
Oh,
stranger
you've
on
told
my
me this.
butt. I told you that. I don't know if I ever
Yes.
told.
Oh.
I wrote a blog post about it, but because it was so, like, degrading and stuff, maybe I have told the story, I
Mm.
don't know. But, like, I was running, and I was running on the road in, like, the middle of nowhere, like, the middle of a forest, basically, and by myself, obviously. And, I was running, in America, we run on the left side of the road, like, against traffic, 'cause traffic drive on the right. So then all of a sudden, I just felt like I thought I had been hit by a car because I just felt this
Oh.
like impact
Oh.
on my back. It was a guy was on a motorcycle. He had crossed over the middle lane to where I
Wait.
was and hit me on the butt with his hand. But it was so hard. Like, I was like, did I just get hit by a car? I was so disoriented. And then when I realized that was what happened, I was so like
Oh.
ashamed and humiliated and stuff.
Mm.
It was awful, and then I went to the cops, and they were like, "You were sexually assaulted. Congratulations." And I was just like, "Oh
Oh.
my God, a stranger, like, crossed over the middle lane into my personal space to, like, hit me with his hand in literally the most humiliating possible way." But that's and then I feel like that was, like, a turning point for me in feeling safe running outside because I never thought about it before. Like, I encountered men and stuff, like, hiking,
Of
running by
course.
myself, like, no one ever did anything to me, and I always felt, like, very invincible and free and, like,
Mm.
oh, thanks, Willow. Yeah, running was, like, how I felt the most powerful. you know? And then, that was the situation. The cops like totally took it seriously.
Good.
Yeah, and they like posted like a car for like 3 weeks in that area to see if they
Oh
could get
yeah.
a guy on a motorcycle. I had gave them nothing to go on. They tried. I mean, they had nothing to go on, but still, they were
Mm-hmm.
calling me every other day. Oh, we're still working on your case. That's why like I do encourage women to go to the police, like, because yeah, a
Definitely.
lot of times they aren't helpful, but like sometimes they are, and it does give you like peace of mind and stuff. But yeah, it's just like I was like I was so discombobulated and like what just happened. There was
Yeah.
no like, oh, I'm gonna get this guy's license plate or something. I didn't even know what happened. I literally thought I had been hit by a car, and thank God he didn't like hurt me.
No kidding.
I don't know, he's probably
Horrible.
going like 30 miles an hour or something. Literally like just reached his hand out and like smacked my butt. Like how degrading too. So ridiculous.
Entitled, degrading, horrible.
Yeah. I was just like, what just happened?
Oh,
And then I got so angry, it
of
was like,
course.
I cried about it. I just sat on the side of the road. I like laid in the dirt in the side of the road and just cried. I felt like so bad. I was like, oh, I did this to myself because I shouldn't be out here alone. It's like all those emotions
Yeah, we
when
internalize it
you're,
immediately. Like,
yes. Again,
I
that's like
shouldn't
probably
have. Mm,
part of the training, right? Is like always blaming women. So then women blame themselves. Nobody even has to do it. Nobody even has to blame us because we blame ourselves for everything,
Yep.
Yeah. That's it. What Lepto says. That's another good reason to go to the police too. Like, is so it's sort of like there's a record of it, in case it comes up again.
Yes, exactly.
It's like a serial thing, So yeah, it's just that thought of like, say I'm on a trail, say I go hike on the Appalachian. I feel like the Appalachian Trail is like probably more ish traveled,
Populated.
and like and solo women do it all the time and stuff, so like maybe that would be chill. But like, you're hiking on the trail and then a man, just you see a solo man coming like at you, especially if it's like he doesn't have gear and stuff, like just out there.
Ugh,
That would be creeped out.
incredibly so. Me too.
And I always knew that like I could run fast, and that was like my defense, and I can't run at all right now, like at all. Like I think it maybe in a survival situation I probably could run a little, but
Right.
I certainly am not fast or anything. So I don't know. Anyways.
Ugh. Ha ha ha, being a woman in the world.
Yay! Fun, happy, fun stream time, everybody. Radical Ramblings, fun stream.
Happy to talk about anything, but that's just the reality of being a woman. Yay, go us. That's the things we have to think about and worry
Yeah,
about.
and like waste our energy on. There's just so many things like, and whatever, makeup, like that's how we've started the stream talking about all that femininity stuff. It's like we're just expected. It's like, yeah, no wonder men have done all the discoveries and like
Yeah, they
all
don't
the
waste their time,
important
energy, and
positions
money.
and government and all this shit. It's like, yeah, exactly. They're not like wasting their lives worrying about getting attacked. They're not wasting their lives worrying about, oh, am I pretty enough?
Mm-hmm.
No shit. You have so much time and energy to spend on literally anything else. Like, you better be discovering some shit.
Right.
you know?
Ugh. Stop wasting your time, energy, and money on bullshit.
Please. If you're gonna spend your money on or spend your energy on anything, spend it undoing the training.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing you should be spending your energy on in relation to womanhood.
Agreed.
The training is like a hole that we have to crawl ourselves out of.
every
just
single day.
to exist. Yeah.
Always. Endless.
That's irradiated woman's comment. Who wouldn't want to be perceived as a woman? Like, that's the thing that's so, and we talked about that recently, I feel like, or I don't know, we talked about it, or I talked about it on my stream. Like, do these Tims actually want to pass? Do they actually want to get treated as a woman?
Right.
No, they don't. They want to retain their male privilege. And that's why, like, that article saying, oh, yeah, so many of them spend the day with Monica and then just go right back to being a man.
Mm-hmm.
Because they just have this, like, porny fetish
Yep.
fantasy.
It's happy fun time. And then they
Yeah,
get
it
to go
has.
back to all of the benefits and privileges and entitlements and money and time and whatever.
Listen to, like, what we talked about in this stream. Like, is this a reality anyone would want to opt into who isn't, like, totally mentally ill?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, the reality of having to think about your safety constantly and the reality of having to think about, am I performing femininity perfectly? Like, nobody wants that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. None of these dudes want anything that is about being an actual woman. They just want like the fetishy, makeup-y bullshit. They don't
The
want
fetishization of vulnerability, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, go
They
ahead.
want the emotional labor and they don't want the domestic labor and they don't want the child rearing and they don't want the vulnerability and they don't want any of that shit. They just want to skirt go spinny.
Yeah. And then the most ridiculous bullshit of all, cis privilege, cis
Oh,
female privilege, that we supposedly have privilege over these guys,
what I would
and
love
they're
to
the
know a
most
single
oppressed.
what
Like,
what is an example of cis privilege that we hold over Tim's? Can somebody name one? Do, 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 do. Anything? No? Okay, yeah,
no,
that's what I
no,
thought.
no. Crickets, crickets,
Yep.
silence. Yeah.
Oh, let's see who's this. That TM says, I just saw a stream on TikTok where a Tim was debating anyone who opted in that trans women are superior women. It's truly the pinnacle of male entitlement and misogyny.
Insane.
Yep. Incels created a framework to call women privileged over men and be seen as progressive.
Also insane.
They think being abused is a privilege because that's what they want in their porn rotted brains.
Also insane.
Mm-hmm. According to them, being identified as female by wider society without putting in the work is a privilege.
Mm.
We look like women without even trying. So unfair. I've said this
Oh,
before,
yeah. Yeah.
and I will say it forever. Um, right now, I'm wearing pajamas and no bra and no makeup, and my hair is up in a clip, and I have everything these dudes want, and I'm not
Yeah.
doing anything for it. So, suck on that.
Yeah, I just had to look at myself in the mirror, but yep, my hair is in a bun. I have a t-shirt and yoga pants on. I have obviously no makeup. I would never be mistaken for a man.
Nope.
Ever.
Yeah,
Never.
and they will never have a shred of that, and it
They can't just wear a
style.
t-shirt and a bun and no makeup and be
Mhm.
mistaken for a woman.
Never. They can't wear 8 pounds of makeup and heels and laser hair removal and be mistaken for a woman.
I mean, if anything, that shit makes them look like
Cartoony.
more. Yeah.
Yep.
Um
They
yeah.
think they're better women, but they're constantly whining on Reddit about how no one will date them, man or woman.
Yeah. Mm.
Oh, it makes Tim so mad that women don't have to be hot and are still women who they envy. They see it as insolence.
Mm.
Yep. Willow says, I love my female body.
Well, irradiated woman says they fetishize our actual pain and relative weakness in the world. Yeah. They die earlier than women. So.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Although I've seen the real black pill, the evil femmes being like, that's still an advantage. Right? The fact that women have to live longer is another way that men are advantaged over us.
Oh.
This was a really fun stream.
I know. Yes, the chat was popping the F off from even before we started.
Oh, I know. That was wild.
Yeah, everyone was having, I hope everyone was having a great time, because I certainly had a great time. We just hit 2 hours right now, so maybe, yeah, we should let Lisa go to bed.
I know, I'm like yawning.
Thank you for coming to my stream, Lisa. Our
Oh my
stream.
gosh, that was so much fun. Yeah, we should. Oh, also thank you. I didn't say this. Thank you so much for the slides. They were really beautiful.
Oh, thanks. I
You
used
did
a
a great
template.
job.
None of it was me.
Yeah. I do recommend everyone go check out her website because
oh yeah, what is it?
It's like real goofy and it's fun to look at, and it's so jaw-dropping. I spent quite a little bit of time goofing around her website.
And I'll post it in the chat. Where the heck is she? Monica Prada.
Also, I was thinking like her name, like Prada. It's like
I know Prada.
Prada. Like I know it's like her name, but it's also like good branding in that sense.
I know. Here she is.
The masks and gloves were definitely nightmare-inducing.
Yes. Okay. Well, yes. Thank you, everybody. Oh, Irene just got here. Hi, Irene. We're just signing off. I'm so sorry. Thank you, everybody. This was lovely. This was fun. I think, Lisa, you're streaming on Friday afternoon on your channel?
Yes. So what I've got coming up, well, hopefully I started writing an essay and I'm like, fingers crossed, we'll hopefully have an essay on Thursday, probably short-ish, but it's about the parking lot lady and our training to be polite and not to fight back, whatever. All the stuff we were talking about today. And so I need encouragement because I also just like I had a little crisis of self-doubt, or whatever this week, and it's because I'm getting my period. So
I got mine yesterday.
Yeah, we're like syncing up. But so hopefully an essay on Thursday. Then Friday I'm streaming about love bombing. So if anyone's interested in that topic.
And that'll be an afternoon North American.
Yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to read 2 articles about that. And then, yes, stream sponsored by Lee Baratineur. And then Saturday, probably streaming with my brother. He's coming over again. So that will be cool.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Harry Potter.
Yeah. So yeah, Lisa is linked in the description box. So just subscribe to her channel because she's going to be doing stuff on Friday. I'll be at work, so I will not be joining her. But yeah, thank you and have a great evening or night or day.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
You make this stream amazing.
Okay, bye.
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 Bye.